And hello, and welcome back for another episode of Success Scopes with Carol R. Owens. Ooh, it's hot out there, boy, today. I don't know where you're at, but in the DMV area, it is so hot. And I'm driving down the street in the car today just saying, thank you, Jesus, for air conditioning. You know, whoever invented AC, you are in my thoughts today because it is supposed to be even hotter tomorrow. But I was thinking, remember when we were little kids and you always used to wonder if you cracked the egg on the sidewalk, would it actually cook it? I'm actually thinking about finally going out and trying that today. It's so hot out there. Hi, Diana. Thank you for being with us. See, I recognized it today. So for those who don't know me, my name is Carolyn Owens, and I am the chairwoman and CEO of Infinity Coaching Incorporated, where we help you up-level your skills so you can up-level your income. And so we're here every Monday at 2 p.m., every Friday at 2 p.m. And on Monday, we share, some tips, some strategies that will help you move forward and stay focused in life. Because it's all about up-leveling your skills so you can up-level your income in your life. Success on your own terms. And then Friday we come back just for a quick follow-up check-in, see how you applied the tips or strategies that we talked about, see how the week went, what's going on, and really just kick the weekend off. But I thank you so much for joining us. If you're enjoying the scopes, please share them, show some love, tap the hearts. If something, I say really resonates you, really hit those hearts, But again, I thank you for being here and I appreciate you. I do want to give a shout out to one of our Infinity Coaching community members who's also been one of my mentors. He's the author of 5 Steps to Rapid Employment, Jay Block. He was recently this week listed as one of the top 25 career coaches online. So congrats to you for that, Jay. And I'm certified in his program, 5 Steps. I'm one of the few across the globe 5 steps to rapid employment master coaches. So if you have any questions about that program or the work that he does, you definitely can send me an email about that. But it's an honor to be, see him listed on that list of top 25. And we have been talking a lot about sleep deprivation. That's a topic that we've been focusing on for the past couple weeks, and the impact that it has on you when it comes to being productive, when it comes to your relationships, communications, everything. And then people wonder why, if I'm a career and leadership coach, is this something that I talk about? And it's because we don't realize, we're often in denial about how sleep, or shall I say the lack of sleep, really impacts us. And so we think that it's just like badge of honor to go around saying, oh, I only got 2 hours of sleep. Yeah, high five. Or, but it's not really, because when you think about the future impact and how it's impacting everything else in your life, and a lot of times we're in denial and we don't even know it. So we talked about some of the signs that how is it showing up in your life that you may not even recognize, and you think that your eyesight's going bad, or you just gaining a few extra pounds, or why are people wondering why you're in such a bad mood or kind of grumpy, or even things that are happening with your skin and your health and your body. And a lot of times it can be attributed to the lack of sleep, what you're not getting. So as I said, we talked about the signs, and we've been now talking about some of the impact. How is sleep deprivation really been affecting you? I know, Diane, you were saying, Diane's one of the people that's in our Infinity Coaching community, and she's been experiencing lack of sleep for about 3 weeks now. But one of the things that I know she was also having, I hope she doesn't mind me sharing it, she was having some migraine headaches not too long ago too. And that can also kind of, when you're not getting to sleep, when you're having all that stress, how it affects you. Can you imagine showing up to work like that, and you're trying to have a conversation with somebody who normally irritates you, and how magnified that becomes? And hi, Carolyn Farron, that's my mom. I see that she made it back this week. Thanks for joining us again. And I know she's been having lots of problems with getting enough sleep lately. And she's talked about it a little bit in the community and messaged me about it. But that's why I'm hoping she'll be here next week, because that's when we're going to really get into some of the strategies that can help you get more sleep. So if you you don't realize you can become so overwhelmed, you lose focus, you're not as productive. And as I said, we talked about the science, but just to do a quick recap of what some of the impacts are. Now, every week on Sundays, I post an affirmation on Instagram. If I don't do it on Sundays, by Mondays, you see an affirmation. Thank you. You see an affirmation posted that kind of relates to what we're talking about. And this past week, the affirmation was, my life can be managed to help me find a healthy balance. And so it's really, that's how does that sleep deprivation play in? So you're trying to find that healthy balance and thinking about the impact. So we talked about poor health and really how when you're sleeping, you're building the antibodies and all these protective cells so you can fight off the viruses, the diseases and everything that takes place. And if you're not getting to sleep, your immune system's weakened, and therefore you have an increased risk of catching you catch colds easier, the weight gain, the strokes, heart disease. And heart disease I put as a separate category because when you're getting sleep, your body's healing and repairing your vessels, the heart, and if you're not getting that sleep, you're going to have high blood pressure, heart disease, hypertension. And you think about it in the African American community, especially with women, heart disease is really truly affecting us, and I'll just say it's actually killing us. So it's really something to think about, how that getting that proper sleep, that you don't increase those risks for yourself. And it's said that if you just one night without proper sleep can cause your blood pressure to be elevated so high throughout that next day. So just thinking about that impact and how many people, once you start taking that blood pressure medication, 90% of the time, most people are not able to come off of it, but there's so many side effects with that. And if you can just kind of solve it and reduce it by getting more sleep, hey, it's definitely worth the try. I mentioned weight gain. That's one of the impacts that if you're not getting enough sleep, because when you're tired, you're more exhausted, you're not watching what you're eating, you tend to snack more, and also your choices aren't as good because you're not really thinking clearly in the types of decisions that you're making. And we also mentioned about your skin and how lack of sleep really ages your skin. You're prone to more breakouts, the wrinkles will come faster, throws your hormones off balance, and you start appearing to look older than you really are. And I mean, who wants that? If you've seen one of the radio shows recently posted some pictures of Tina Turner and how she looked when she was in her 50s and how she looks now when she's in her 70s. I hope when I'm in my 70s and mid 70s, I'm looking that good. So just think about that impact of different sleep and how sleep has on that aging process alone. And then one of the things I also mentioned that people don't think about is the effects of alcohol consumption and you're not getting sleep. So that one or two or 3 drinks that you may have, it's the intensity of it is magnified from not getting enough sleep. So you get that high, that feeling quicker if you're not sleeping. Then of course now that affects your ability to drive, even like I'll say when you're walking, different things that can happen. So you got to think about, if you're going to be going out and doing different things, get enough sleep so that you can, be social longer and hang out. But I got to admit, last night, I didn't even follow my own rules and guidelines. I actually stayed up myself till 3 a.m. And so I can feel the difference today in how I am like totally off. I was working on a project that I was determined to get done, and I still had to be up a few hours later. But I could tell in conversations that I was having and everything that is, hey, I'm not up on my game as strong as I normally am. And I know I'm going to pay the price for it later because I've got a whole full day that I've still got to get through. So we were talking about taking time throughout the week and thinking about the signs and the impacts and how is this showing up for you? Is it impacting, these are 5 things that related to more of the physical side, how it affects your body, how it affects your heart, how drinking alcohol and lack of sleep affects your body and being able to function. And next week, we're going to talk more about the internal side, the emotional sides, the more of how lack of sleep affects you. And if you're here next week, you'll understand what those 5 things are and why it's more emotional, why it's more in here. and how that affects you. So we've talked about the signs. We talked about 5 physical impacts. We're going to talk more about, more the headspace and 5 things there. And then after that, we'll jump into some strategies and tips that will hopefully help you get more sleep, be more protective, and, really live up to that full potential. So I invite you to join us in our free community, the Infinity Coaching community, and you can find it at infinitycoaching.net/community. Jumps you right up there into the Facebook group. We invite you to attend, and that's where we keep the conversations going all week long about different resources, different tips, different strategies. We have someone who's been talking about LinkedIn and how to perfect your profile. Because even if you're not, this isn't just for business owners. This is for career professionals, if you're an entrepreneur, and if you're a stay-at-home mom or dad. These are just tips and strategies that are going to help everyone move forward in your life, having that extraordinary life and that amazing career. So I invite you to join us in that group. You can also follow me on Twitter, check me out on Instagram. And Twitter, it's at Carol R. Owens. On Instagram, it's Carolyn R. Owens. And so our Friday follow-ups are just a quick 10-minute jump in, say hi, see how it's going, any questions you may have. You can always, if you don't want to kind of type in the comments here, you can email me at cowens@infinitycoaching.net, and I'll follow up with you there. Or you can jump on my website, which is Infinity Coaching, and there's a contact me form there, and you can fill it out and definitely get back to you. So again, thanks for joining us. Think about what we've talked about. And I'll be back Monday, 2 p.m. to go more into that headspace and some of the impact there. Until then, here's to your success, and have an awesome, blessed weekend. Thank you. I appreciate you. Bye.